Actually, Babylon is a part of the beast, one of the heads of the beast, but it's also in the form of a woman that sits upon the beast. So the woman is connected to the beast. So what part of the beast is going to be destroyed by fire? Babylon the Great. Now there's going to be destruction all around the world because the whole earth is going to quake. All these buildings, it said every wall, in not so many words, will come down. Every wall shall fall. Not going to look for that. That's every wall. So the wall of China is going to fall because that earthquake is going to knock. We see the earthquake knocking down everything. So there's going to be a lot of building around the whole planet Earth. It said in the beast.
All praises, honor, and glory be
Words
to
will
the
come
Heavenly
down.
Father. In the name of his only begotten Son and the Holy Spirit, call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Warachaha Kodash, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the believers that subscribe and listen to this truth wholeheartedly through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Every wall shall fall to the ground. And the title of this lesson was inspired by the video clip you just heard of Apostle Tahar, which was a video he did sometime yesterday that I caught yesterday evening. It's entitled Revelation 19 and 20 and Daniel 7 and 11 are the same event. And in this video, he's speaking about the destruction of Babylon the Great. As you heard him say, which part of the beast was going to be destroyed. Babylon the Great, by the way, is America today. And he also went into how other parts of the earth will be destroyed as well, due to the impact of the thermonuclear missiles, and also from the fire from the chariots that the angels, Yahweh Shai and the angels, are going to fire upon these nations. Okay. And so when he was speaking on it, he quoted Ezekiel 38, which he said he wasn't going to look it up, but the spirit is on me to look it up. And when I looked it up, the inspiration was drawn to do this lesson. So I looked at a few things and I just wanted to bring it out. As you see the Google images of these different walls, right, which he was speaking on, all these walls are going to fall to the ground as prophecy foretells. All right, you see the different walls. You know, you got the Theodosian walls. All right, you got all these world walls around the earth. All right, different city walls. You know, you got the Great Wall of China. Okay. Yep. And everything that you see pretty much is going to be destroyed. And even the walls that you don't see. Okay. Because you also have invisible military defense walls. Okay. And they're going to be cast down as well. All right. Which when you go into Yep. It says while the idea of invisible military defense walls might sound like science fiction, there are several avenues being explored to create advanced defensive systems that offer enhanced protection, potentially including elements of stealth or reduced visibility. Here's a breakdown of concepts and technologies related to the idea. All right. direct energy weapons do, all right, and active denial systems, which these things already exist, man. They already have been experimenting using these devices. Okay, as the scriptures say, at least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. I think you had something go down in Hawaii a couple years back, and it was brought to the forefront that the weapon that was used, okay, which I ain't gonna speak on it, is what you see right here on the screen. All right. Also with the wildfires, okay, that was most likely direct energy weapons. Okay, it says concept instead of physical walls, these technology use focus energy, lasers, microwaves to deter or disable threats, creating a non-physical barrier. All right, so this is a part of those miracles, his technology, which the apostle was speaking on that. All right, the Lord's going to allow this man to reach great heights of power, you know, just as he did, you know, the ancient king of Babylon and the Pharaoh, all right, in ancient Egypt as well. All right, he allowed these heathens to, you know, grow in the knowledge of weaponry and technology and power so that he may show his power. That's what it's all about. All right, but all of their devices and fortresses and, you know, fuck your little fort, nigga. Inside joke. But let's get into the scriptures, right? And this what Apostle Tahar was speaking on last night, and I went right to it, you know, as I typed in every wall shall fall. This is what came up. I'm gonna start here, Ezekiel 38 and 18. And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog, and who is Gog? Russia, shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh power, that my fury shall come up in my face. All right. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day, Salakia, there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. All right. So other parts of the earth. All right. But the main two portions of the earth or dwellings in the earth is going to be first and foremost America, which is Babylon the Great, and the land of Israel. Okay. Which Babylon the Great is allies, all right, with those small hats over there. Okay. Because the true people of the Lord would never be allies with Babylon the Great. For you Christians out there who you know, you declare that America has to be Babylon the Great, but in the same breath you accept, you know, the 1948ers as the true biblical Israelites, and that's just not fact. Because again, there's no way in hell that the true biblical Israelites would be allies with the daughter of Babylon. Okay, that's not in that doesn't line up with prophecy in any way. So picking back up, Ezekiel 38:19, for in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. From what? The thermonuclear missiles. Okay. Mainly the thermonuclear missiles, but also Yahweh Shai, when he cracks the clouds, the whole earth is going to shake. All right. And he's going to come in the midst of World War III. Okay. When you go, what's this? Second Ezra? Is it Second Ezra 13? Let's see. Yeah. And I start at the top. Let's see. Yep. We'll read 1 through 8. All right. So this is 2nd Esdras 13, starting at 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea. All right. That it moved all the waves thereof. And it's not talking about the sea below us, the waters. It's talking about the sea above us, the heavens, the Shemayim, which means pertaining to the waters. Okay. Because the Lord is not coming out of the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean. All right. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, the angels, the archangels, all right, Michael, all right, and the host of angels, you know, the legions of angels are all going to be with him. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. Okay. So you go back to Ezekiel 38 and verse 18. It said, and it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord our power, that my fury shall come up in my face. All right. And this is talking about the judgment of the Heavenly Father, specifically his wrath. As it say here in the NLT, it says, my fury will boil over. Okay. So this is when Yahweh Shai comes back. All right. He's only going to see red, which I remember the Elder Kazak elaborating and giving a vivid description of how when the Lord comes to judge the earth, he's only going to see red. All right. He's only coming to put in that work, man. Okay. So this is why it says all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. This is talking about the lasers from the chariots. Okay. Because when those lasers come out of the chariots, they're going to make a very distinct, all right, unique sound, for lack of better words. Okay. And when I say unique, they're going to make a sound, a powerful sound that is not resembled of any sound we've ever heard. Okay. It says, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. Okay. Like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. Okay. And after this, behold, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven. This is talking about the armies from all around the earth. All right. You're going to have the NATO military, right? You're going to have the BRICS military. You're going to have all the Earth's militaries fighting. And Yahweh Shai is going to make his grand entrance in the midst of this war, World War III, the third woe, Armageddon. All right. It says, and after this, behold, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. And this mountain is not talking about, this is how Ezra is describing what he saw. All right. He saw the chariot of the Lord, and he's describing it as a great mountain. Okay. But it wasn't actually a mountain. He says it here, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Okay. Because the scriptures say every eye shall see him. So this chariot is going to be seen simultaneously all around the world when the Lord comes to bring the judgment. Okay. When the Lord comes, as it says in Isaiah 66, all right, the Lord shall come with fire and his chariots like a whirlwind, you know. And I speak as a man, you know, but I believe that the chariots interconnect. Okay. I believe that the fathership, all right, the fathership holds the whole host of angels and the other chariots. I believe they all dwell in one. All right. I believe they all interconnected. for lack of better words, you know. It says, but I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. Okay. So they're going to see this great power of Yahweh and the angels, and they're going to shit their pants. All right. They're gonna be terrified, all right, to the point to where the Lord is gonna have some nigga, all right, or some proud ass Edomite, you know, give a hoorah speech and amp them up to fight, you know. The Lord's gonna have to put the spirit on them to conjure up, muster up some courage to fight, all right, against the power of the Lord and the angels. So going back to Ezekiel 38, for in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. See, linking up. You know, all the inhabitants of the earth are going to tremble. All things trembled that were under his feet. Okay. The mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. All right. So this goes for, like I was showing the images, this goes for the physical walls, you know, that have been built up, you know, any missile defense system, which is an invisible wall, is going to be broken. Okay. That's why America is known as the land of unwalled villages. Okay. Which now you got Trump talking about building a golden dome, or iron dome, golden dome, whatever, trying to beef up the American defense system because they're preparing for war. All right. All these nations are preparing for World War III. All right. Is the Lord said it is his determination to gather the nations. Okay. Verse 21, and I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah power. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. All right. So Russia is not going to prevail either, man. God, Russia is not going to prevail because all the superpowers are going to fight. Okay. Now America is going to take the most damage. All right. But all around the earth, those missiles are going to be hitting locations according to the GPS coordinates of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. All right. This is the book of let's get the book of Joel, right? Picking up at verse 3, Joel 2 and 3. A fire devoureth before them. These is talking about the missiles. And behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. What did it say here in the book of 2nd Ezra? Verse 4, 13 and 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. The earth is going to be feeling the fire from the missiles before Yahweh Shah comes, and then it's going to feel the fire from the lasers that are coming out of the chariots. The mouth in the 2nd Ezra 13 is talking about the chariots shooting lasers. Okay. And all manner, matter of fact, it's when you get into it, it's going to shoot all manner of different firepower streams, for lack of better words. It's going to shoot tempests. It's going to shoot lasers. All right. It's going to be all manner of firepower coming out of those chariots, man. That's going to hit and not miss, just like these missiles because the missiles are a part of the Most High's armory. So these nations have thermonuclear missiles and have all of this weaponry, this thermonuclear weaponry. It's really the Lord's, okay? All of this firepower that these nations have is really the Lord's judgment that's going to be poured out. And again, all of these missiles are going to hit their targets according to the GPS coordinates of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Okay? Let's keep going. Right? It says the appearance of them is the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains, shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Which Joel is being very descriptive in the vision that he has received, the vision he received of World War III. Verse 6, before their face the people shall be much pained, and all faces shall gather blackness. What did it say concerning the people? All right. It says 2 News 13:8, and after this I behold, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid. All right. So these prophecies are linking up. They're talking about the same event. Okay. Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They, meaning the missiles, shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. Okay. Meaning these missiles are going to break the defense walls of the nations that they're set against. Okay. These missiles are going to break the defense walls of Babylon the Great. All right. Which, even if somehow Trump manages to get a dome built right over America, those missiles are going to break through. Okay, those missiles are not going to be stopped. It says they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. All right. So we was looking at invisible military defense walls, right? Wherever the Lord has these missiles again set, coordinates set, and whatever target he has them set to hit, these walls, right, are not going to break them. All right, as it's showing the direct energy weapons, that's not going to stop them. Active denial systems, that's not going to stop them. All right. It says active denial system employs millimeter waves to create a painful heating sensation on the skin, deterring individuals. It says high energy lasers can be used to disable or destroy incoming threats like drones, missiles, or even disrupt sensors. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Verse 9. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. So the power of these missiles are going to cause earthquakes like the earth has never felt. Okay. As well as Yahweh Shai's grand entrance. Okay. So the missiles are going to be doing damage to the earth, and then Yahweh Shai's appearing, all right, is going to do the same. So let's deal with the missiles first. All right. So this is Isaiah 24. I'm going to start at 17. It says, fear and the pit. The pit is talking about the lake of fire, man. And the snares are upon thee, O inhabitant of the earth. Okay. And it shall come to pass that he who fled from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, because you're not going to be able to escape. There ain't going to be no running from these missiles, man. If you're on the ground in America when those missiles hit, America is the pit. Okay. So if you under the ground in America, you're going to be up under the pit, but you still going to burn. All right. You still going to burn, man. And for those that do survive, if it's any of the elites over here in America, when the angels and the elect come out of those chariots, we're going to pull your ass up out of there. All right. We're going to pull your ass up out of there, and you're going to be on those chariots in chains and shackles. All right. Is the first fruits of slavery to rebuild the earth. All right. As Apostle Hall was saying, the earth, the earth is going to need rebuilding. There's going to be a whole lot of it to be done. As the scriptures prophesied that we shall sever out continual employment for 1,000 years. All right. It's going to be a time of us dwelling with Yahweh Shai and rebuilding and restoring the earth to righteousness. Okay. Repairing all the damage these heathens, beginning with Esau, Edom, have done to the earth. All right. It says, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. Yeah, you're going into slavery. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. Okay. The windows on high. All right. Yahweh Shai, he's coming, man. Okay. That's why I say he's not coming. Is second Ezra, it said the sea, but it's not talking about the sea as in the waters on the earth, like the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean. He's not coming out of that. He's coming out of the sky. He's coming out of the heavens, man. He's going to be above us. All right. It says the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. All right. Let's see what that says in NLT. The earth has broken up. It has utterly collapsed. All right. So those physical walls are going to fall, man. It is violently shaken. Right. This NLT used violently. I want to see what this word exceedingly says. Right. Looks like Slovakia. Tell you, I say, man, I had to reinstall my screen recorder app. I tried to record this video 4 times in a row, man. And Satan didn't want to let it come out. I had to uninstall my screen recorder app and then reinstall it and upgrade to another one. All right. Okay. Which I don't think you can hear it, but The Hebrew word here, I believe, is mawat. Mawat. Okay. Mawat. All right. It says to be shaken, move, be overthrown. All right. To dislodge, let fall, drop, to be greatly shaken. All right. To be greatly shaken. Yep. Be falling in decay. Okay. So there it is. As the NLT reads again, the earth has broken up. It has utterly collapsed. It is violently shaken. Isaiah 24:20 is the point. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. Like a drunkard. It's like a drunkard. Or a drunkard too. You know, as we down here we got a term for crackheads. We call them junkies. All right. Which that's probably a universal term for them. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a lot worse than a junkie though. It says the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Okay. So there you have it, man. Yep. Verse 21, it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones, all right, that are on high, and the kings of the earth, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. All right. So it's dealing with the higher class, the ones that's able to get into those deep underground military bunkers, those luxury bunkers, right? They're gonna be punished. They're gonna be punished, man. Because the power of the Lord is coming with, they're not gonna be able to escape. And they're actually being led by the Spirit to go underground again, like I was saying, so they could be reserved as the first fruits of slavery, man. All right. So that's the damage that the missile's going to do. But along with the missiles, Yahweh Shai, all right, the power that he enters the earth with is going to shake the earth even more so than those missiles. This is Ecclesiasticus 16:16. His mercy is manifest to every creature. He had separated his light from the darkness with an adamant. All right. So ain't no excuse for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. His mercy is manifest to every creature. It's his own words when you go to the book of Matthew 24, and when this gospel, I believe that's Matthew. Matter of fact, let's just get it. All right, let's get it. Then the end shall come. Oh. Yep, Matthew 24:14. This is the mercy, right? And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. All right. So there you have it. The mercy is made manifest because this gospel has indeed been preached in all the earth. Okay. You can go on the YouTube, all right, on the internet, and pull up the prophets, pull up GMS. All over the world, you got prophets, but mainly here in Babylon, which is the chief place of judgment. All right, where you have the bulk of the Israelites and the majority of the prophets. Okay. Shutting down Babylon the Great. All right. So his mercy is manifest to every creature, and he hath separated his light from the darkness with an adamant. Say not thou, I will hide myself from the Lord. Because they're gonna try to hide, right? When they see those missiles, as the scriptures say, the Lord's sword bathing in heaven, right? They're gonna instantly head for their underground bunkers, man. In the book of Revelation, it said they're gonna tell the rocks to fall on them, you know. Shall any remember me from above? I shall not be remembered among so many people. For what is my soul what is my soul among such an infinite number of creatures? Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens, the deep and the earth, and all that therein is shall be moved when he shall visit. The mountains also and the foundations of the earth be shaken with trembling when the Lord looketh upon them. Going back to 2nd Ezra, all right, 13. All right. So there it is, man. All right, the power that the Lord is going to display on the earth, you know, showing his power, unleashing his wrath with the thermonuclear missiles and the chariots and the host of the heavens. All right, it's going to be unfathomable. All right. So with that, Lord will, you'll edify. Till next time, I say shalom. Kwam Yasharala, Abba, rises or destroy confusion. Peace to the elect.